All black money, no white financiers, no white bank. Purchasing a school in 5 years from the people's money from the community, I see no problem with that. So we get the school in February 7th of 2019, and we've been renovating it since. February 7th of 2026 will be 7 years. This past Saturday, we completed all the renovations on the school.
Umar Johnson, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I try not to really go there.
You know, we saw this kind of rumored around, and we wanted to get your thoughts on it. So critics say, obviously, you raised millions for your school, and after some time, about a decade or so, the school hasn't been up. So they want to know, what's the 2026 update on FDMG Academy?
First of all, anything a critic says about FDMG, I would like to know where they get their information from. Nobody knows how much money we raised because we never shared it. My circle is so tight that nobody in the public could know anything unless we share it with them.
You getting public funding from the public, nigga. What you talking about? You have to disclose that kind of information. A nonprofit organization that we run. We just started running it last year. I mean, April's gonna make our first year in business. And yo, you be getting donations, you be getting sponsorships and stuff like that. You got the show. You know what I'm saying? You can't be talking about, now ain't nobody gonna see my shit. Come on, man.
The only people we share information with are our donors. The big problem with the so-called FDMG controversy is the people asking the questions are not the donors. The donors don't ask questions. We have their complete faith, complete support. 85% of our donors are repeat donors, which means they've been supporting us since the fundraiser began. The people who want answers are people who have no vested interest at all in the project. So I don't answer questions to people who don't have any vested interest in the project. You follow what I'm saying? I don't go around offering answers to people who don't have anything to do with what I'm working on, because this is a private black community initiative. We don't owe them no answers. No,
it's not a private initiative if it's a nonprofit organization. If it was an incorporation and a private, like, you know what I'm saying? You're private. You're not, stock market shit, none of that shit. You're not just giving out shares to the public. They do what the fuck they feel like. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about a nonprofit organization. I think that's a 501 something in America, y'all call it. You know what I'm saying? The terminology is a little different, but it's still the same nonprofit though. You know,
we don't take any federal money. You see what I'm saying? So, that's the problem, because they want us to be accountable to YouTube. They want us to be accountable to Instagram. They want us to be accountable to the struggle streams. I'm not accountable to nobody but our donors. So when donors have a question, they can call me and ask. And I know if they're a donor or not because we've recorded every donation we've ever gotten. Every one. You follow? So if you call, say, Doc, I wanted to ask you a question about the school. Sure. What's your name? When was your last donation? How did you make that donation? Let me confirm you. And you can ask all the questions you want. But if you're just a struggle streamer, you're just looking for content so you can just run with some negativity, I'm not giving you no answers.
I'm going to give Umar a little credit here. If he was doing something illegal, why hasn't the feds come looking for him yet? This is what it's been years. He still ain't built a school. And we saying he's scamming the culture. But he still hasn't been arrested. The feds ain't looking for the nigga. So I don't, maybe he's doing something right. I don't know, perhaps.
With that being said, let me clarify a couple things about FDMG. The fundraiser began on April the 12th of 2014 in St. Louis. Originally, we wanted to purchase the HBCU St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Southern Virginia. HBCU for sale, they wanted $2 million. A buddy of mine called me up and said, Doc, there's an HBCU for sale for $2 million. Of course, we hadn't even started raising money yet. So the fundraiser began. We lost. The Chinese purchased it. And I'm embarrassed that black people let another race purchase an HBCU built by our ancestors coming out of slavery. The Chinese have the St. Paul's. So we said, okay, we can't get St. Paul's. Let's keep on raising this money and let's try to just get a regular day school. So we started traveling all over the world. As I told you earlier, we almost ended up in Atlanta. The big issue with the early school search is once these property owners found out who I was, and let me be clear, most of the properties that we were interested in during our school search from 2014 to 2019 was Roman Catholic schools because they take good care of their property. I thought we were going to end up in Detroit also. Detroit had about 5 Catholic schools that we had enough money to buy. And once they found out who I was, they wouldn't sell.
What you say he's lying? I mean, hey, yo, man. Flat out. And I don't know how he gets away with this shit. I don't get it. Like, yo, we all can see he's lying. Chat knows he's lying. Everybody, CJ, Knight, we all know he's lying. But goddammit, how he get away with this shit?
There was another Catholic school in Money Earned in Mount Vernon, New York. They wanted to lease it clean. I said, we ready to lease. They called the Vatican in Rome. He told me this. He said, half the Catholic schools in America are managed directly from Rome. I did not know that. So he had to call the Vatican and ask them if it was okay to lease the school to Dr. Umar. They said no. So a big part of the delay was we couldn't get nobody who would sell us the property that we wanted, right? So we ended up in Wilmington, Delaware. We bought the school in 2019, only 5 years. All black money, no white financiers, no white bank. Purchasing a school in 5 years from the people's money from the community, I see no problem with that. So we get the school in February 7th of 2019, and we've been renovating it since. February 7th of 2026 will be 7 years. This past Saturday, we completed all the renovations on the school.
He just said this past Saturday, we completed all the renovations at the school. That's what he said. Tell that nigga, that nigga. I was watching Lennon's live. I can't lie, I'm guilty. I was watching. The nigga was doing a promo, this is the other day, outside of the school in the cold. If everything was good on the inside, wouldn't you be on the inside? Ain't it cold in Delaware? You know what I'm saying?
Why were we delayed so much? And I'm not even going to call it delay because I believe in divine timing. If it didn't happen yet, it wasn't supposed to. You feel me? That's my position. But if we want to look at this practically, the reason it took us 7 years to do the renovations is because the black contractors, I'm going to say it, the black contractors who we depended on to help us cross this finish line sooner, they scammed us, they robbed us, they never completed their work. I haven't had a single black contractor. Quote me on this. In 7 years, I haven't had a black plumber, black electrician, black roofer, black HVAC, black painter, black floor person, not one black contractor who we paid to do the work ever finished what they got paid to do. Not one. So can't nobody say shit to me about how long it took us to get this job done. It took us long because of ninjas in the community who don't have integrity and work ethic.
Can you imagine this guy? He just said all these negative things about black people. And like, yo, I would have been done faster, but yo, because of all these black, you know what I mean, contractors, shit ain't get done. Says here in the chat, you talking bad about black people who are the ones that donated. Black people. He's just fast talking. Exactly, Knight. He's fast talking. I don't like motherfuckers like that. Because like he's just gonna keep fast talking, keep talking in circles, and nothing is gonna get done. But I will give him this though. At least there's a building there, there's 2 buildings there, you know what I'm saying? There's some work getting done. But goddamn, 16 years, brother. That's a long time. I know brothers that own schools. It ain't take them that long. No.
Now, do you believe you need any more help?
Well, as I said, we finished. The renovations are done. We got to dot a couple I's and cross a couple T's, and then we have to go for inspection with the city of Wilmington, Delaware. We don't know what's going to happen with that because they never thought we would finish. Now that we're done, we now got to fight them. Because remember, they tried to sell the school behind our backs this past summer. We had a vacant property registration fee bill that we should not have even owed because as a nonprofit, you're supposed to get a 4-year waiver. They didn't give it to us, right? I called them up to see if we can come to some type of an agreement. If you're not going to give it to us, say that and let us pay. The woman in the office told me she would call me back on 3 different occasions. Never called me back. I emailed her on 3 or 4 other occasions. Never responded to my email. All of a sudden, I get a phone call, Dr. Umar, the struggle streamers on YouTube, talking about your school is about to be auctioned in 21 days. I said, this can't be true. I just checked the mail. We ain't got no mail saying they trying to sell our school. All our bills is paid up except that vacant property registration fee. So I called one of my supporters in Wilmington. I said, can you go past the school and see if there's another set of paperwork on the other door? Because remember, we own both schools, by the way, not one, 2. We own 4 buildings. We own the block. Name somebody else in the black conscious community who bought a whole block. Nobody. I'm the only one. So anyway, the struggle streamer stole one set of paperwork. My supporter got the other set of paperwork. She took a picture of it and sends it to me, right? Guess what? If they would have took both sets of paperwork, if the haters would have took both sets of paperwork, I would have never knew that our property was going up for sale because the city of Wilmington did not communicate that to us. They would have sold that school behind our backs and we would have never even known. So when I tell you getting ready for this inspection, we might have to get ready for war. We might have to get ready for war.
Well, I hope that completes itself how it should, for sure.
It should. Either way, it don't matter.
Yeah.
My ancestor Frederick Douglass told us more than 100 years ago, no struggle, no progress. If they want a war, we give them one. If I got to bring 3 million black people to Wilmington, Delaware and march on the city, that's exactly what we do.
This nigga ain't even related to Frederick Douglass. Fuck you talking about, nigga? You just making up names. I'm related to Bob Marley. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's fuck. Hey, nigga just make up shit. Man. And then on top of that, yo, you talk so bad about niggas that turn around and want nigga money. I have never seen anything like it, man. I don't even get mad at the nigga at this point. I can only say that if you were still giving him monies, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? You better pray that when you're giving him this monies, that he's really going to. Now, I'll be real. Fuck that. If he does come through with the school, we might have to shut our mouths. If he actually capitalizes for 25 years, we still might have to be like, oh, well, you got the job done.